Yo, Irish, Matthew here at freeprescriptionlenses.com. And how's things in Virginia Beach, neighbor? I'm saying that because I'm in Durham, North Carolina, about 3.5 hours south of you. I'm going to show you how I cut prescription lenses for your RayBan 2132 New Wayfarer, the color 902L, which is the classic tortoise, and the 55i size. I'm going to take your frame out of its original packaging. This is your Italian leather RayBan case, your RayBan frame, your RayBan cleaning cloth that is always upside down and backwards. Let me turn that around for you. And not only will you receive the RayBan one in this case, I'm going to send you one of my cleaning cloths too with instructions on how to care for them. But this is your RayBan frame. Of course, it comes with this little plastic sleeve on the temple. They send them that way so the temples don't rub together during shipping. Well, if they think it's a good idea to put one on there, I'm going to put a second one on there when I ship to you, so we'll have twice the protection. But for now, let me take all of this off and let's get to work. I'm going to take out your original heavy glass lenses, and I'm going to put some lightweight lenses in the place. But the first thing I'm going to do is take your Italian RayBan frame, put it into my Italian Santanelli. This is the LE1000 patternless edger, and the stylus is going to come up and trace the shape of the left lens. Then it's going to move over and trace the shape of the right here at freeprescriptionlenses.com, where everyone loves a bargain and no one is disappointed with quality. You buy a genuine, authentic RayBan frame and you will receive free, clear, single vision prescription lenses or non-prescription fashion lenses if you just want to wear them for fun. But in this case, they are prescription. I'm going to put one measurement in there. These are lenses that will be cut for a plastic frame. And let me go to work. The first thing I'm going to do is take your brown tinted lenses. Actually, wait, hang on, got the wrong ones. Hang on, I got them down here. What'd I do with them? What'd I do with them? There they are. Go down into my little stash there. +1, +1. There we go. That's the lens I was looking for. So, I'm going to put these lenses into the lensometer and my Marco 101 lensometer. I'm going to find the optical center of each lens. Identify it, put a dot on the center of the lens and label that one R for right. Let me do the same thing for the left lens. Of course, you're the same in both eyes. You're at +1, so you just need a little bit more magnification than what the normal lenses provide. So this is known as a block. I call it Jenny from around the block. All right, bad humor, and you get plenty of free bad humor tonight with the purchase. You buy a genuine, authentic RayBan frame and receive tons of bad humor. I got that coming out my ears. But I need to attach this Jenny from the block onto the lens. So I'm going to put this into my blocker. And wouldn't you know it, 3M, the same people who make Post-it notes, make these double-sided adhesive stickers, and the black side is the sticky side. I'm going to stick that onto the block, pull that sticker away, drop this down, and essentially what I'm looking into is like the crosshairs of a scope. I've got a vertical meridian and a horizontal one, and I want to put that red dot in the center in the middle of the crosshairs. Put the sticker on there, pull the tape away, get everything lined up perfectly, and boom. So I'm going to take your lens, put it into the chuck, or as I like to say, the Charles, because I don't know the machine well enough to call it chuck. But I told you, free bad humor. Take my wife, please. Honey, you didn't hear that. The calipers are going to come down and they're going to trace the shape of the right side of your frame, the right lens, to see if this lens is large enough, and it is. It's starting with the concave surface, the rear surface closest to your eyelashes, and then it's going to move forward and trace the convex front surface of the lens. All the while measuring the thickness of the lens to know exactly where to place the bevel so it will best fit inside the frame. The actual cutting wheel is down here on the bottom left. It's that lighter color wheel that's going to grind away your lens material until it's the final shape. And this wheel in the center is what's going to put the bevel onto the lens so it stays inside the bevel of the frame. I will have to close the door. Actually, it's not too loud. I'll leave it open so you can watch your lens cut. So it is the outside of the lens, the bottom, and this is at the nose. If you notice your lens is still completely flat like a nickel, I could take it out and it'd sit on the counter. Now it's getting the bevel put on there and now water splashing on the lens. Let me dry that off. And in just a moment this will stop and we'll see if it will fit into your frame, and I would be very, very skeptical if it did fit. So, the 55, I usually have to take it down in size just a little bit. I'm actually wearing the 52 in the new Wayfarer in the color 6053 because I wear a lot of blue shirts with pinstripes and it matches the majority of all my shirts. So your lens is done. I will take it out of the chuck. Excuse me, Charles. How about if I just call it Charlie? I will take it out of the Charlie and dry your lens off because it's always embarrassing when you drop a lens on live TV, so I ain't gonna do it. And I'm gonna go over to my hand stone. You still have some rough edges left over from the cutting cycle, so I'm gonna use my hand stone, which is completely flat. I can put my finger on it while it's running and my finger gets warm due to the friction, but that friction allows me to smooth out any rough edges that you may have. And so now that that's been smoothed out, I'm going to see if it will fit into the frame. And like I said, I thought it'd be skeptical. So in order to mount your lenses, I tuck them in at the outside corner and push down at the nose, and it's almost going to go, but it ain't. And I'm not going to force it, so I'm going to take it down about 1/4 millimeter until it easily goes into your frame. Now, a millimeter, for all my American friends, is the distance between the thumbnail. Everyone else in the world knows. But a millimeter is the distance between my thumbnails. And I'm going to take 1/4 of that distance off, going all the way around your lens until it will easily fit into your frame. The reason I do that, I don't want to force it, is if I did try and put a lens in that was too large, it would stretch your frame, warp it, and eventually it could roll. If you thought of your frame as a gutter, because that's essentially what it's kind of like, it has that same shape. If this were too large, it would make the frame, we call it rolling. Your frame would roll and it would make the lens pop out. Plus, you're going to have this frame for years and years and years, and in a couple of years when it's time for new lenses, I'm going to show you how you pop these lenses out. In case you ever want to get lenses from me, you don't have to buy a new frame. I will send you lenses only for your frame. If you ever want clear lenses like I'm wearing, I can send them right to your home. If you ever want transition lenses that are clear and then turn dark when you go outside, I can do that too. I can add anti-glare to your clear lenses. I can add them to, if you ever need polarized lenses, sunglass lenses, which are dark 24/7. Transitions go from light to dark when you're outside. The only downside of transitions is they don't work when you're in your car, unless you have a convertible or a motorcycle, then they will darken. But your windshield blocks the sun's harmful ultraviolet rays. By the way, you have both UVA and UV protection, UVB, UVA and UVB. Let me slow down, because we know what the sun's harmful ultraviolet rays will do to your skin, where your eyes are 8 times more sensitive than your skin. I'm going to take that down just a little bit more. I like to do it so a novice can easily pop these in and out. The right lens takes me a little longer. Once I get the size of the right lens done, then I'm going to flip it over and we'll cut the left. But your windshield absorbs all the sun's harmful ultraviolet rays so your dashboard doesn't crack from sitting in the sun. That's why transition lenses will not turn dark in a car. But yes, if you have a convertible there at Virginia Beach, which I highly recommend you go out and get one, or a motorcycle, then they will darken. But people who do drive motorcycles who have a full face shield, they're now putting UV protection in the face shields, if that's what it's called on the helmets. So they will not turn dark in your helmet if you have UV protection in the shield. And believe it or not, Irish, by the way, I love your name. I had a patient, well, she brought her mother in. Her mother lives here in Durham, but she lives in Virginia Beach, and she came in today to help her mother pick out a pair of glasses, and actually her mother got the same pair. She got the tortoise in the size 55. Dry all that off. Back to the handstone. And here's how you mount your lenses, Irish, and I'm going to break it down once the left lens is cutting and show you slowly. But you tuck it in at the outside corner using your thumbs. You press down at the nose and it snaps right in, and that feels pretty good. So let's go ahead and start cutting the left lens. And I'm going to hit start. Just like before, the calipers are going to come down, but this time they're going to trace the shape of the left side of the frame. See if you can visualize which is the side, the temporal as it's called, which is the nasal, top and bottom, as it goes around. Camera 1, camera 2, camera 1, camera 2. And as soon as the left lens begins cutting, I'm going to continue to work on, I'll continue to work on the right once the left lens begins cutting. Being only 3.5 hours away by car, hopefully you should get these on Saturday, worst case scenario Monday. But it would be great if you had them in time for the weekend, but we'll see, we will see. Now, I'm going to pop the block off, dry that off, pull the sticker away. Where's my towel? Paper towel. It's over here. It's over here. Now, it's always with your thumb. It's always in the nose. You're always going to push down with your thumb, whether you're putting the lens in or taking it out. Now, I'm right-handed, so I grab the frame with my left hand. I place my right thumb at the nose. I put my fingers on the other side of the frame to hold it. But I place my left thumb on top of my right thumb and push down with your thumbs. Out it comes. That easy. Now, to mount the lens, I turn the frame back upright. And if you notice, I'm working on the side closest to me. I'm not trying to reach across the frame to get the lens mounted. If I'm working on the right lens, I have the right lens closer. If I'm working on the left lens, as you will see, I'll have the left lens, the left side closer to me. But since I'm demonstrating with the right lens, tuck it in at the outside corner. Using your thumbs, press down at the nose. It is that easy. You're not going to hurt the lens. You're not going to hurt this frame by doing this. I've had my patients do this for years. I learned, why sell one frame when you can sell 5? So I have one set of prescription lenses, and every day I pop my lenses out and put them in a different color frame depending on what color shirt I'm wearing. Because I'm always matching. My wife's jealous of me that I get to accessorize now when I get dressed. So when I go to the closet to pick out a shirt, I'm thinking, what color frame do I want to wear that day? So back to the handstone real quick for the safety bevel. Back to wiping off any dust that I just created. Now, to mount the left lens, tuck it in at the outside corner, closest to you. Using your thumbs, press down at the nose, it snaps in perfectly. I'm going to take this block off. I'm going to check one measurement up here in the light, and we are good to go there. Now, I always like to mention that when you receive these, and if they're loose or too tight, or if they sit high on one side or the other, the reason I mention that is that 99% of all optical shops will do free adjustments if you ask them. And it's always good to get your glasses adjusted because 80% of people have one ear that's higher than the other. And I'm no exception. When I take my glasses off and I set them on the counter, mine wobble because my right ear is lower than my left. So, but I'm going to make sure they're in standard alignment, meaning that when I press them on the counter, also known as 3-point stance, I should say 1, 2, and the bottom of the frame being 3. I set them on the counter, I press down, there is no wobble, unlike mine that wobble. I flip them over, press down, there is no wobble. I make sure that each temple overlaps perfectly, and they do, and the same amount of tension on each hinge, and there is. So that's that. If anyone has any questions about what I can and can't do, just email me at freeprescriptionlenses@gmail.com. Irish, which by the way, my wife and I had a great time driving around the whole country of Ireland. We stayed in Shannon and did driving tours all day long. You can see the entire country in one day riding around. But I hope you enjoyed watching me as I cut prescription lenses for your RayBan 2132 New Wayfarer in the color 902, the classic tortoise. And everyone else has got a chance to see, you know it's coming, how I bring that love and feeling back to glasses. Thank you.